Welcome to Magnificence Moments. Hi, I'm Sue, your Magnificence mentor. Today we're going to talk about acceptance in relation to self-acceptance and acceptance of others. We already covered acceptance of situations. I have a question for you. Why are we so hard on ourselves? What is it that causes us to judge ourselves so harshly, so often? It's pretty hard to be your magnificent self if you keep beating up on you. So let's look at ways that we can, first of all, embrace acceptance of ourselves, who we are, the mistakes we've made and will probably make in the future, and any of the difficulties that we face. I know I grew up in an environment where it seemed as if I could never do enough or be enough to satisfy other people. And as a result, I became very self-critical. Well, it didn't serve me all that well because there was a bitterness that resulted from that and a resentment. Plus, of course, I found it more difficult to trust myself because I couldn't accept myself as the wonderful, magnificent being that I really am. In fact, I didn't even know that I was any of those things. Well, when I began to turn that around, when I began to say, maybe, just maybe, I'm doing the best I can in any given moment. Did I have all the information I could have had? Likely not. So maybe it's okay. Maybe what I thought was a huge misstep or the biggest mistake I ever made turned out to be the best thing that could have ever happened to me. So we really need to give ourselves the benefit of the doubt when it comes to self-acceptance. Accept yourself for who you really are, and especially give yourself a break when it comes to quirks and foibles and things that you don't like about yourself. If there's things you don't like about yourself, you know you can change most of them if you put your mind to it. So, but in the meantime, that isn't all who you are. Who you are is much more than that. So that pretty much covers self-acceptance. So I encourage you to really explore that within and do as much as you can to accept yourself and quit beating up on yourself. Because you know what happens then when we feel, I call it lower than a snake's belly, about who we are, it's pretty hard to feel good about other people too. And that's when we can find it extremely difficult to accept others the way they are, or accept their actions as perhaps not well-intentioned. And we just really need to examine that and give all of us a break. So next time you are focusing on or feeling as if you're hanging out in judgment instead of accepting the other person, it doesn't mean you have to put up with what you consider to be bad behaviors. That's not what I'm talking about here. But when people make decisions that you don't agree with, or they do things that seem to be more in their own interest and not in your interest, then it's good to talk it out with them if you can and find out what was behind all of that. And you may find that the story you made up about it wasn't true at all, that really they had a very good reason for doing what they did the way they did it, even if it didn't serve you in some way. So I think our world will be a better place if we're more accepting of other people and, of course, more accepting of ourselves. And it starts with self, really it does. When you do, when you move more into self-acceptance and more into acceptance of others, I think you'll find a peace that will just help you grow much, much more into the magnificent being that you really are.